Hi, welcome to the next edition of KebbieG Specialty. And today we're going to be trying out Hardened scales for Pioneer. Of course, we got a brand new card called Bristly Bill Spine Sower, which basically has whenever you play a land, you may distribute a counter somewhere. So we're going to try it out in this shell. I think it actually could be pretty decent. Later in the game, it is a mana sink, which is good against control and stuff like that. And plus, I am trying out a different card in my 3-drop slot that I'm curious to see how it actually functions, just because I think it could be pretty good against control and mid-range, which is our worst matchups because of temporary lockdown, stuff like that. So maybe this card does bridge that gap. If you like Hardened Scales, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification to go to future videos, comment down below. We're on our way to 1,000 subs. Let's get there together, and let's get into the deck list and break it down and see it in action. So the new card I'm trying out, of course, is Bristol Bill. I'm also trying out Sentinel in the Nameless City. I didn't try it out last season. I went with a different route, mainly with Soul Colder and stuff like that. I try to maximize on that and adjacent to the Collected Company. This time I'm going to do Coco, Hardened Scales, and Ozolith. Cut the red all together. Make our mana base better. 22 lands seems pretty spot on since we don't have really a high curve. And of course we have 4 and 4 on our 1-drop Pellet Collector / Experiment ones. And then we have a lot of 2-drops. Then we have Kazul, which allows us to gain card advantage as we're attacking, hitting our opponent's face. Same with Sentinel. The maps do put counters on things, so that I hope that is a good enough strategy to push the deck to the next level. Sideboard, we do have 3 Damping Spheres for Lotus Field, 2 Dromoka's Command. It's a ++1 counter and a fight spell, and it has a little bit more diversity than that. 2 Invasions of Gomacon. If you face the deck with heavy monster removal, we'll probably cut the Ozolith. 2 Ranger class, same situation most likely. Ozolith's coming out for Ranger class against grinding matchups. Then we have our 3 Scavenging Ooze we could bring in, probably for Bristly Bill, just because, or Luminarch Aspirant, depending on what we want to do, because that's mainly for control. Phoenix, Fang, stuff like that. We have 2 Knight of Autumns as a artifact and enchantment hate, also life gain. And it does come down as it gets 2 counters. That's in a mode as well. That is our Selesnya Hardened Scales for Pioneer. Let's see if this deck has what it takes to compete. Let's get into it. Play the Lair and Pelt Collector as they go. Hive. Passes. Play the Thicket. Play Brawler. Attempt to grow. And shove. As they go. Cliffs. This might be a Blood Tithe Harvester. Yeah. And passes. Hardened Scales. So play the Scales. Play a Thicket. Experiment one. Attempt to shove, I think, with the Pelt Collector as they go. He offers to trade. Worst case scenario, he's Soren's Ripper. Fable. That's not that big of a deal. So the question here is, do I want to do a sorcery speed? Coco, probably during combat. It's probably when I want to do it. Go to combat. Shove in there. If he doesn't do anything, then we just Conclave, I think. Alright, just takes it. This is pass. So it gets rid of 2 lands. Tells me a lot about his hand. It's clearly getting flooded. Goes to combat. Shoves with a Shaman token. I don't think I care enough to put something in front of this. So, take the 2. Mutavault. Archfiend with the draws. Alright, Coco. Kazul. Sentinel, I think. Over the Mentor. Let's do Mentor Kazul. Or the Mentor Sentinel. Okay. Now we get to untap. Double Mentor. So we play another Mentor. We want to go ahead and crack the map onto Sentinel. Put them into the graveyard. Yes. I don't want. Got it. So against this matchup, probably want just the Invasion. Possibly Dromoka's Command, but probably not necessary. Go down the Ozolith. Maybe Dromoka's Command over 1 Hardened Scales, 1 Bristly. Not like that. Cliffs. Passes. No Thoughtseize. So play the Thicket. Play a Scales. They go. Mutavault. Passes. So play the Thicket. Play Mentor. Say go. There's a Fatal Push. Passes. Bristly Bill. Temple Garden. Untapped. Edict me. Another Hardened Scales. Say go. Sorin. Ripper. Passes. Sentinel. Crack the map. Keep Sentinel. Say go. Puts a counter on it. Hits me. and a Fable. Sentinel number 2, play a Lair, attack Sorin, chumps. Alright, so we get drained. Grow the other Sentinel. Conclave, I think we keep it. So they go. We only have 2 turns to win this game. It'll be very tricky. Attacks, take it. So we're at 4. Turns on a Mutavault, throws it in my face. Okay, run it back. Play the Lair, Hardened scale, say go. Hive, Thoughtseize. Takes Coco, probably. Takes Bristly Bill. Passes. So we put that on white. Play Brawler, say go. Thoughtseizes. Takes Coco. You have a Fatal Push too? And that would definitely seal this game up, I think. That's not a bad top deck. Experiment 1. Luminarch Aspirant. Grow. Experiment 1. Shove in there for 5, say go. Springs. Path Apparel. Regenerate. Coco, that's, I guess, fine for next turn, maybe. Or the turn after. Hit ya. Swamp. Cage. Alright, so that stops my Coco. Lily. Minus. Gets rid of my Experiment 1. Luminarch Aspirant. Put a counter on itself. Say go. Okay. Plays another Blood Crypt. So he doesn't leave up high for a block. Interesting. Turn on a Lair. Put the counters on the Lair. Hit Lily. Hit face. Say go. Passing through his turn. Temple Garden. Untapped. Turn on a Hive. Put the counter on Luminarch. And shove. Now he could technically turn on a Hive, chump, Fatal Push the other. Yeah, that's what he does. I personally would have done the opposite direction. Alright, turns on a Harvester. Plays a Harvester. I would have Fatal Push to make sure the Lair died. Because it's much harder to answer. Go to combat. Yep, chumps. So next turn we do have a lethal Lair. Cracks the Blood in Desperation. Preacher. That's a little rough. Due to the Death Touch. Besage you. I could swing for 4. I think I pass. Archfiend of the draws. Passes. Pass the turn. Attacks with the Archfiend. Take it. Sorin. Put a Vein Ripper into play. Pop the Cage. Coco. Botanical Brawler. Do I want Luminarch? Sentinel's a better attacker right out of the gate. Crack the map. That sucks. That really sucks. Now we're dead on the back crackback. We were so close to winning this game. We just had that last fizzle. Yeah. Okay. 0-1. Let's get into the next. Proving Ground. Passes. Thicket. Pelt Collector. Say go. This time I won't forget about my Jengatha. Island of the Beanstalk. Passes. Conclave. And shove. I want a green source off the top. Plains. Okay, no lockdown. What is this? Clarion. And passes. We drew our green source. Hardened scales. Brawler, say go. So this is definitely Niv, if I had to guess. I don't think Omnath plays blue-white. Clarion. Yep, Niv. Gets a Lightning Helix. Sadly, I have to play Luminarch Aspirant, which means Aspirant is going to die by Lightning Helix. Shove in for 5. Omnath. Okay. That's perfectly acceptable. Plays a Glacial Fortress and passes. Plays Sentinel, grow the Aspirant, and shove. Okay. You're better off just double blocking Aspirant. Thanks to the trample. Swamp, Sunfall, Deadly Cover-Up. Takes my Brawler away. And passes. Play Pelt Collector, crack the map, try to dig. Say go. Sulfur Falls. Is this a bring to Niv? Alright, he's going to full-blown BTL. So now he's going to get a Niv instead of Omnath. Okay, so Niv hits the board. Gets a crap ton of stuff. Sure. Passes. Draw another land. Pick up Jegs. Play Thicket. Pass. Plays another mountain. Plays a mountain. Wandering Mind. Are you going to pop my collector in scales? Alright, I'm off. So I think we bring in Ranger class. Go down Ozolith. Maybe up 2 Invasion. Down a Bill. And a Scales. No, I think I want one Invasion. Run it like that. Thicket. I think Experiment 1's the correct play. So go. And the only reason being is because this counts death triggers too. So I think it's wise to put this down, get counters on it. If it ever dies, all those counters get pushed onto Pelt Collector. Plays a Tap Triumph and passes. Play Conclave. And shove. They go. Fable Passage. That pretty much means his removal is offline this turn. So we shock ourselves. Play a Pelt Collector and a Luminarch Aspirant. Put the counters on the Mentor and hit you for 7, say go. Now he definitely could Clarion next turn, but he has to get a mountain or a plains here and then play an untapped land. Okay, there's a mountain. So if he has an untapped white source, he can definitely Clarion here. He will definitely save the experiment one. Lightning Helix. Alright. And it passes. Play Kutzil and grow. Shove. I don't see a world where casting the Spell Collector is for my advantage, so pass. Got game 2. Run it back. Stomping Grounds. Untapped. Analyze the Pollen. Brushland. Pelt Collector, say go. Carrieted. Play the Beseju. Play Invasion. Get rid of Deadly Cover-Up. Say go. So if next turn I play Bristly Bill, I'm not going to get the Hardened Scales counter. This will Sprock here. This makes this a 3-3, which could flip the Invasion. So he definitely plays Wandering Mine. Hopefully he whiffs here. Lightning Helix. And passes. So we play Bill. Grow the Pelt Collector. Put that on green. Pump the Pelt Collector. Hardened Scales. Attack the Evasion. So now we get to flip it and say go. Plays the Fable. Passage. So that means there's probably not an Omnath coming. Actually, we know there's not an Omnath coming because there's a swamp. So he could Lightning Helix here and Pillage. That would be his most optimal turn. Okay. Binding comes down. What are you targeting? So weirdly enough, do I just let him take this? Then if I ever blow this up, I get the Invasion back? Yeah. Magically, I guess if he has a white source, he can Lightning Helix my Bristlet, my Bill, but I would love a untapped land here. I guess he does have, he has the Carrieted. Yeah. And passes. That is not an untapped land. Play Ranger class. And then shove for 5. Say go. So plays a Craig. He does not have enough to Deadly Dispute yet. Or Deadly Cover-Up. So I guess he BTLs for another Wrath. If he did that, though, he should have just attacked with a Wandering Mine first. So he gets a Niv. Vanishing Verse will be a pain. Attacks. Take it. So I have 2 options. Can pay into this, attack, make this a 7/7, get in there, hit him to 7. Or I take the turn off and play Coco. So I don't think I need this land regardless of the situation. So if you're Vanishing Versus, yeah, I think I have to just take the turn off. Plays a Triumph. What are you versing? The Pelt Collector. Okay. So I'm giving his creatures lifelink. And hits me for 8. Coco. Brawler and Experiment 1. Take it. Question is, can we do 22 points of damage? Hardened Scales. Come on. Collect a Company 1 time. Brawler. Experiment 1? Maybe? I think I had to have my Anthem guy that doubles my counters. Because I don't think this Brawler's going to get big enough. And I can't pay into this. Shove. Yeah, I don't know if I can get a counter on that Wolf token too. We got him to 3 before we died though. But they have Exaxes. Again, so close. Like we were literally about ready to beat the 2 best decks in the format. But we were just 1 turn too slow. Okay. 0-2. Let's get into next. Forest. Experiment 1. Say go. Plains. Passes. Brushland. Hardened Scales. Experiment 1. Attack. Say go. Vantage. Invasion takes my Ozolith. So that means we pick up Jags. Shove. Say go. Next turn we can Ozolith. Mountain. Play the Ozolith. Aven Interrupter. Pass the turn. Pathway on white. Magistrate. Hits me with Aven Interrupter. Actually hits the Invasion. Okay. Put the pathway on white. Experiment 1. Mentor. Since I can't cast my other card. Hopefully this grows my team decent. Soul Partitions my Hardened Scales. What a very interesting time to be alive. So we go to combat. Shove in there. Say go. Take it. Oh, flips the Invasion. Of course. Play Jegs. See if you have another Aven. Sure. Go to combat. Shove in there for 9. No attacks for the opponent. So that means nothing grows. Okay, Sentinel. See if that resolves. Another Aven. Man, that is such a tempo loss for me. Go to combat. Shove in there. Blocks, block. Oh, trades his Draneth. That is an interesting tack. Oh, he doesn't even trade. Oh, yeah, because he just sacks this. So in response to him sacking that, we'll just regen. Okay. Man, another invasion. So did you just do invasion, attack here, flip? Okay. That is how you do it, huh? This deck, I think, is a deck to be reckoned with in Pioneer. Look out. Draneth plot combo is pretty, I think, pretty decent. I have an article that's free because someone paid for me to make this deck. So if that interests you, definitely check that out. So he's tapped out. We get to play Sentinel. Grow our team. Finally. Crack onto the Mentor. I don't need another Conclave. So if I tack out, let's see what happens. He has to 1-for-1 each of these. So he can never actually profitably block here. Yeah, so he has to block. And then sack his array. If these had lifelink, they would be so cracked. Oh, he lets it go. Wandering Emperor. I'm assuming he's my Mentor. And plays the Sacred Foundry tapped. Passes. So now we can start casting our spells. But I'm going to be nice and just attack. Got game 1. Alright, this matchup, I guess Dramoka's command over the Otolith. And I think we need semi-mirror here. Now, the question is, can I get away with 1 Hardened Scales, 1 cat? Run it like that. Plays the Sacred Foundry and passes. So we play Lair, say go. Plays an invasion. Pathway on white. Play Mentor. Say go. That's not a bad top deck. Finally get to play Bristly Bill. Play a tap land. Grow the Bill. I know if I target the Mentor, he's just gonna kill it. Ganju, sure. So we go ahead and play a Temple Garden untapped. Grow the Bill. Go to combat. And shove. So if he ever taps out, we're going to go for a Coco. Say go. Passes. That's a possibility. We could just invasion here. This might make him do something. And at which point I could just Luminarch Aspirant. Okay. I guess simple trickery. Aspirant. So trickeries me into a collected company. Okay. That is something. So we take Mentor. I like Sentinel, but Brawler is just faster. Hit the invasion. And cast Array. Say go. So he invasions, takes my collected company. Play the Brawler. Even though I would like to see a land to use this Bristle or the Bill more, but go for lethal. Alright, so we're 1-2 at the deck. Beating a deck, like I said, I literally just wrote an article about for an upgrade path from a Dono deck. So 1-2, let's get into the wrap up. So what did we learn this week about this deck overall? We went 1-2, but the record is kind of weird just because we literally pushed it to game 3 and we were 1 turn away both times almost. We could have easily beaten felt like Rakdos Vampires and Niv. Like we were in the contested running, and I think that so far the main board has felt pretty decent. I'm just not sure about the Pelk Collector. Is it better than a different 1-drop? I'm not sure. But I do like the Brawler Mentor Aspirant Sentinel package. Bills felt pretty good overall. There was many times where he just didn't get that land to keep triggering the landfall triggers. But overall, I think he felt pretty decent as a 3-of. He's not a 4-of just because he's legendary. So, like, if there's another creature that comes along that's better, of course we could look at that. But I think Kadzil, I'm not sure if I want to keep that as well. What cards would you recommend to fill up potentially that 1 slot with the cat? Let me know down in the comment section what you guys would consider. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification before you head out that door. And until next time, hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. Talk to you soon.